say at least strong 8 years, and it's been a great league. I mean, I've been playing fantasy football since I want to say 1988.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm aging myself here. We used to do our scores on a Buffalo News paper box, and we used to grab the Buffalo News, and me and Vegas Mike had a paper route, and we used to get that newspaper and get those scores. Everything was in pencil, and it was really hard to come by stats. So I've been running leagues. I mean, I haven't been the commissioner, but I've been in league since '88, and yeah, it's been pretty cool. In this league, has a pretty solid bunch of people. Like this year, again, about 3 new owners, but because we switched from a keeper league back to a redraft. So I wanted to I love the redraft. I just like to start fresh and kind of go that route. And I don't think that the keeper sometimes gets stale. You have the same players, and there's not a lot of movement. So in a redraft, you get a chance. I had CMC for like 3 years, and I'm like, he's phenomenal, but then he got injured last year, and it was just kind of boring. And so I said, let's go redraft league this year. So we got some new people, including yourself. So
yes.
In the super flex, some people love and hate it. So, where we were, I think the last maybe 3 years we were super flex, and I like it because it gives more validity to the running back position. And I think running backs were going 4th, 5th, 6th round. We're here, as you see, the top 3 picks of the draft were quarterbacks. So, it's pretty solid. So, and I think everybody had a really good draft. I don't think anybody bombed in it. I mean, the years of people having a horrible draft, people have a cheat sheet or they have something to grab by so they can hold their own. So.
Well, I've got the draft board pulled up. By the way, I really appreciate the invitation from Troop, aka Lenny, aka Voodoo Rage. I'm not sure what you guys call him back in Buffalo. He's got Sports Card 716 too. No, you don't want to say that live.
Yeah, we don't want to say that, but no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Lenny's a fierce competitor, so he always has a team, and he's always got some pretty good takes. So he's always in the conversation when it comes to competitive play.
Well, I'm excited to be in this league, man. I'm going to throw up the draft board in a second. Okay. But this is the highest stakes league that I've ever played. This is $100 entry, so $1,200 prize pool. What's the payouts like in this league?
I don't have it in front of me, but like I said, division winners. I want to say 300 apiece, maybe even more. The fantasy championship is 250. It's, I put a lot of payout in more holding the division than just winning a fantasy league. So the payouts are a little bit stronger to division because you always got somebody trying to knock you off the top, and one person can have a bad game, or they could sit somebody. So we put a little bit more validity into the division. And then there's some other point total, like top points and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's a pretty good payout. So I don't have it in front of me. I'm sorry.
Let's see. So we got the Barbill North Division and the Duffs Division, both 6 teams. So would I be playing someone in my division more often throughout the year than the guys in the other division?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's broken down where you're going to be playing more people inside your division. I think we try to do it where it's 2 games each to try to go through. And then, again, there might be some others mixed in because we randomized it. We used to have 3 divisions of 4. So this year we changed it to, 2 divisions of 6. I did it, 3 divisions of 4 because I just thought that it was easier for somebody to try to get a division. But this year we decided to go 6. So we'll
Excellent.
see.
Excellent, man. Well, let's break this down. Let's dig into this, as I like to say. And because as I was telling you before we came on air here, that Lenny, Troop 20, was probing me on who I was going to pick at number 5. In exchange for, I said, well, if you're going to probe me, then I'm going to probe you on who you think that these guys that you've been, playing with for so many years are going to pick at 1 through 4. And we get to draft night, and the draft unfolded the first 4 picks completely different than what Lenny had told me. And I thought for sure I was going to get Patrick Mahomes there at that number 5 spot, and I got thrown a total curveball. So,
yeah, it's same thing with mock drafts. I love to do mock drafts, but it's funny. You do a mock draft, and I must have done honestly like 100 mock drafts just because I enjoy doing them, and I had some free time here or there. I would do them. In my team, there's a lot of players that I picked religiously, but it was tough, and my team was totally different. So it's that's just how it goes. So I think seen Troop.
Yeah, he's frozen though. I don't know what happened to him. I tried to add him in. He must have had some kind of technical difficulty.
That dial-up connection, he's got to fix that. So.
that
AOL account.
So I love it, and this is also the first time I'm playing in a super flex league, and I love the format so much that I've adopted into my own league this year. We just drafted Friday night, and I love this super flex format because, like you say, it gives it puts a lot more emphasis back on the quarterback. And when you're in a 12-man league and you've got 32 quarterbacks out there, and it's a 1 quarterback league, you can stream a quarterback any week, no problem. But with this dynamic, right. I mean, quarterbacks are a lot more valuable.
Yeah, there is, and that's the idea of the Superflex that we like, because we were seeing, I'll use Troop as the example. He was taking guys really late in a lot of drafts over the years because there was value there, and it was like, wow. But the Superflex just amps it up and obviously brings it to the forefront. So I still think the NFL is still running back deficient. There he is, and being running back deficient, you got to take those running backs in the first or second round. So, but the Superflex definitely brings that to the forefront. Troop,
Mr. Lenny Troop.
What's up, guys? Sorry, a little late. Just trying to finagle a trade. I don't know if Jay got a chance to tell you. It was a couple bikes over and a couple blocks over on my bike. Can't get a deal done through the phone, man. So I think I got to put a little pressure on people. Bike right to their house. Trying to get some deals done here. You know what I'm saying? It was funny too because Greg in our league, I knew I only had like a half hour, so I had to really maybe 45 minutes. I really had to do some quick talking to him. He was in his kitchen. I rolled up, with windows are open and stuff. And I'm like, Greg, I go, it's trade talk time, buddy. Like, get out of here. And he kind of jumped back. I kind of like caught him off guard. And he's like, you must really want a trade done, get over here like this. And I'm like, yeah, we got stuff to talk about. But yeah, so I was a little late.
Yeah. So there's one thing sending guys a message or sending them a trade offer, but you actually went to the guy's house and said, we need to talk about this.
I drop stuff off in his mailboxes sometimes when I trash talk him. When we get that weekly matchup going, I'll actually drop notes off in his mail and talk trash and stuff in his mail. So I go that far, honestly. So it's all good.
Trash talk can get pretty good in this league. As long as it we get competitive, everybody has fun with it. So hopefully,
so Lenny, was this walk me through this first round here. Was these first 4 picks? What happened, man? Was this psychological warfare? This did not unfold anything like you told me it would.
No, in fact, it really did catch me off guard. I was like, Jay was talking about taking Allen at 3, so I was prepared for that. But when Allen went off, I didn't know how Jay would react. Like, I don't know if he would have a backup plan or just shoot from the hip. I was totally unprepared of what he would take. I'd have no idea. But yeah, just to get CMC at the 4th, I think is just a virtual crime. That's the overall pick, in my opinion, but just my opinion. So, but yeah, I commend Jay for going, a little off the cheat sheet and grabbing Murray. In a super flex league, it's paramount to have a good quarterbacks, you're really behind the eight ball. You don't get yourself some good quarterbacks, and it's a long way coming back. For where he picks again. So to have him get Murray, I don't think as much reach as most people would think. But yeah, it was certainly a little unique that first round.
Yeah, it certainly was.
Oh boy.
So we got a comment here from B. Dugan. He's waiting for Lenny to start delivering pizzas with trade offers inside.
We should bring Dugan on.
Yeah, hey, we need some Dugan in here. That's what we need.
Dugan, what do you think, buddy? You want to jump on and join us?
Yeah.
I can't see much chat, so.
Yeah, come on, man. So needless to say, you guys threw me off, and I'm thinking there's already a run on these top 3 quarterbacks. Christian McCaffrey's gone. I'm like, all right, I either pivot here and go directly, because this is a full PPR league, right?
Yep.
Full PPR. So
Yes.
I'm like, I either pivot here to Devonta Adams or Stephon Diggs, one of these guys, or I go with one of the other chupacabra, what I call them chupacabra running backs, because the position, the bell cow running back is such a scarce commodity, and that's what I did. And actually did it again the second round because Ezekiel Elliott was still there. I'm like, I can't pass up on that pick. I wanted to get a quarterback. You guys are the super flex format, but it's almost like you guys forced my hand on the pick there.
Yeah, we were. For my pick at 3, I was. I wanted Allen. Like Lenny was right. I definitely did, and my backup plan was Kyler Murray. He's, I love the way he plays. I think that he's got a lot of similar qualities as Allen. D-Hop is a great receiver, just like kind of comparing him to like Diggs. And I think that that team's come together quite nicely, and I think he's poised for a big year. Again, I knew McCaffrey was there. I knew Cook was there. And passing up McCaffrey is probably going to bite me, but you know what? I'm willing to take that chance, because in this league, you got to take chances and, go big or go home. And I thought Kyler Murray was kind of a big pick, and I'm going to live and die by that pick for passing up on C-Mac. So we'll see.
We'll see. Batmax. So Batmax is the returning champ, and he's won actually the last 2 years in a row. Mm-hmm. And I know that's got to be making your skin crawl, Lenny, right?
You kidding me? I was New England before he showed up. I shouldn't invite him to the league.
You were New England before he
kind of backfired, So yeah, he's dynamite. He's a guy that's, you got to be well aware to take your picks. He'll go off the cheat sheet, go up and grab around, go up around to get people that most people won't get. He's a shark. He's certainly a formidable player. I mean, the guy's like in 12 to 15 leagues, so he better know his stuff. But yeah, Ricky's he's certainly in the know, man. So
yeah.
Wow. And so you were at the 7 pick, and you took the first wide receiver off the board with Devonta Adams. How were you feeling when you made that pick, Lenny?
I feel like I was stealing. I felt like I'm getting my guy who I have the second overall pick. Like, legitly, I'm not kidding when I say that. If I would go CMC and I'd take Devonta, and it's not a popular cheat sheet move. Everyone and their mother and brother are taking the Cooks. You know what? But this is more of a gut feeling too. So, and I feel pretty strong about this. Aaron Rodgers has been well documented with Devonta, saying this is the last dance season. They're going to make it a special one. He's made public. I've heard him say, hey, the work I put in this offseason for this season, I'm going to make this a special season. So I don't think he owes Green Bay much, So, they're going to give more play calling, but even more the play call billing from what I'm gathering. So I'm not going to be caught off guard when they're throwing 1 yard fade passes rather than run the ball. I mean, he's got full, time of the offense. So they're out to break records this year. And, he had 18 last year. He missed a game. The only time it was bettered was Rice had 20 and Moss had 23. So I think it's realistic to think they're going to break the record. I think they're gunning for it, both these guys, So I felt great about it.
Very interesting. Yeah, and you doubled down, man. I mean, you must, because come back in the second round, you passed up on Stephon Diggs and Tyreek Hill and all those other guys. You went with Aaron Jones.
Yeah, you know what? This was really hard for me to pick too because Fred Taylor's one of my favorite players in the league, and that's another guy I can easily take in the first round. You know, I own a lot of Colts stuff, and
did you say Fred Taylor? You meant Jonathan Taylor, right?
Good catch, buddy. You know, I've taken him plenty of times too in the 90s. You know, me and Jay have been playing since 1988. We could probably go a little more on that later.
Yeah, I talked a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was hard. You know, but you know what? I got a text message back like, why would you split? You know, that offense like that? And you know what? It's about the size of the pie. These guys scored more points than anyone last year. So you're getting a party pizza size pizza here. You're not getting a medium size. So that offense, you can afford to take the other half of it. It goes a little bit against conventional thinking, but I mean, I don't think many people would disagree. I mean, he's very well could be a first round player in himself, Aaron Jones. So yeah, so I kind of went balls deep into that Green Bay lineup, and hopefully it works out, but we'll see.
Yeah, I hope it works out, man. I took Aaron Jones in my second overall pick in the other league, so I like that. I like that play there, man, and I'm definitely invested in Devonta Aaron Jones rookie cards.
Hey, did Jay tell you how long we've been playing this? I mean, I let the cat out of the bag a second ago. Jay, tell him how we got to playing fantasy football.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying prior to us going on, I go, we've been doing this again since '88. We used to, again, we all live in the same neighborhood, and, paper route. Me and Vegas Jay had a paper route, and Lenny lives a street over from me. And, oh, boy. And, we basically did scores of the Buffalo News with a paper and pencil. And we did our paper route, and then Sunday morning or Monday morning, we'd get these scores, and it was great. I mean, but there was no internet. It was all newspaper, and there was no phones, no nothing like that. So it was purely statistics didn't come in the news. You were pretty much out of luck. So we've been doing this for quite some time.
You stumbled upon in some drugstore, some fantasy magazine. It was like the first magazine or book. It was a book that you probably know more about me, because there was no fantasy football really didn't exist. It was only that book, and we thought that was the coolest thing. And so we got our first scoring system off it, and it. To have everyone would wait for like Wednesday or Thursdays for the standings to come out, and the standings would come out on one sheet of paper. It'd be like highlighted and columned with all the standings. It would have the top 10 scores of the league, and someone manually had to put that out and write that out for everyone in the league to get a piece of it. That was just like, when you're a little kid, that was just awesome.
The Fantasy Football Digest. There was 2 books, and it was when the bookstore, Walden Books, I went there and bought the Fantasy Football Digest. I think Dalton Hilliard was on there or something like that. It was back there.
I think Dalton Hilliard was the overall pick. Maybe 89. He had like 18 touchdowns. So, we're kind of showing our age and all, but hey, it's all good, man. We're all just big kids still.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Well, welcome to the string, Doogie. What is going on, man? I see that you were at the number 8 pick, right behind Lenny here. And how does that feel to be a pick behind the 3-4-time champ?
It's a pain because he's beaten me a few times in the playoffs to get that championship. But I mean, Lenny's prepared, so you have to be prepared, if not more. And you got to think what he's going to do and be like a step ahead of him. And that's why I took my backs when I did.
I see that you went with Travis Kelce as in your first round pick. Is there a premium for tight end receptions or anything in this league? Just curious.
No,
but he is the best at his position.
Big tight end.
There's no argument about that.
Yeah, he definitely he's one of the best ones that's out there.
No, I like the pick. Now coming back, Doogie, before Troop makes his pick there of Aaron Jones, is anything going through your head about trying to snipe players away from Lenny, or are you just picking the best player on the board.
On my board, Ezekiel was the best guy, or not Ezekiel. Eckler was the best guy on my board because he can do it all. He can run, he can catch. I mean, he's a target monster. And I mean, in this league, that can just make the difference between winning and losing. I mean, you get games that you might win by half a point, not even 2.23 points. So anytime you can get a point with a catch, I'll take it. So that's why I aimed at guys who could catch the ball, at least early on, for my running backs.
That's a great pick, Dugan. Because Joe Lombardi came over from the Saints. He was their OC, and he was well said that, hey, I'm going to give him the full Kamara playbook. So I mean, man, that was a dynamite pick. I mean, so you couldn't go wrong with that.
He also went online
Kamara
and
playbook, man.
Yeah, he was promoting his fantasy stock. He said, "If you draft me, I'm going to be a fantasy stud." So he definitely understands the fantasy implications as well. So. Which is funny.
That's awesome. And the Chargers have made really good improvements through the draft in their offensive line. And Justin Herbert, incredible deep ball. I mean, just a really good quarterback all around, man. Rookie of the year. So I like that pick. Like that pick a lot, man.
Yeah, definitely solid. Like I said, everybody had a good draft this year. I really don't think anybody bombed. I think if there was like a stretch player in the first round, I thought it was Lamar Jackson. Rob Bartz picked him. I don't think he's going to do horrible, but I just think that he was a little early, and I understand the pressure of top three quarterbacks going off the board. And like I said, Lamar definitely. I don't know. I don't know if people have figured out Baltimore. I mean, I know they took a hit, obviously, with J.K. Dobbins, but that works out better for Lamar Jackson. So my argument doesn't hold as much water because he's going to have to take on that much more offense. But it was, and again, people probably not complain, but criticize my pick of Kyler Murray going at 3. But I'm willing to take that chance. I'm expecting big things, some Josh Allen type improvements since I couldn't get Josh Allen. So,
hey, you took Kyler Murray at his ADP of number 3 overall, ranked right now here according to Sleeper, whereas Lamar Jackson, his rank was QB 10 actually, surprisingly. Right. But I mean, I've got to think, the J.K. Dobbins injury is going to lead to more Lamar Jackson rushing, right?
Yeah, I would think so. That's kind of my thought process. Gus Edwards, I think, is a really good running back, and the champ, he grabbed his handcuffs, so he's in good shape. But Lamar Jackson's just going to have to do a little bit more work, And like I said, the scrambling quarterback is definitely the future. I mean, I'm a big Randall Cunningham fan. That was my guy. Always liked his style, but longevity of quarterbacks that run around in this league sometimes gets shortened very quickly when that happens. So. All the quarterbacks that have taken the top 4 always run that risk. So we'll see.
So are you guys? So this is what I'm looking at my messages here. I see I got a message from you, Kamish, interested in Keenan Allen, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I always like to see. It was a private message. I didn't know how to send that out there, so.
Or Corey Davis.
Yeah. So we'll have to talk.
Well, see, my thing is about the trades before week 1. Now, I see Lenny's obviously already gone to people's houses demanding trades and counter offers and everything. But I'm like, man, I drafted this guy for a reason. I got to at least see him play 1 week before I do something with him. Like, I would be so upset with myself if I just traded away, a league winner before the season even started.
And it's funny because you're in the majority, I think, for a lot of the owners in this league. And over the years, a lot of guys are going to draft a team and they're going to sit on that team. And not saying that you're going to, but my thing is right now, everybody's equal. It's no one's played yet, nothing. As soon as week 1 hits, and those players do good or bad, their stock values rise and drop, and then the trades are altered. So I always look at it saying, if there is a guy out there, now's the time to try to make that play for him, because I know that week one hits. It's, again, it could work for me in my favor if he has a horrible, horrible game. But sometimes when we draft our teams, I don't think we draft exactly what we wanted. And we look at, I like to analyze every team and take a look and see whose their strengths and weaknesses are, so I can kind of try to make a play. So I understand where you're coming from, but I look at it like everybody's even keel, so.
You know what? I don't get a chance. Me and Brian or Doogie here, we talk NFL a lot, especially when draft time comes around. He's a draft head, kind of like me. I really don't really talk a lot of fantasy too. I mean, so Doogie, going in, did you have a strategy? Did you just let the board come to you, or did you have a target? As far as getting quarterbacks or tight end, you wanted to win in. Kind of curious, and going into the draft, what was your game plan?
Well, Kelsey was always on my radar because where I'm drafting, I did tons of mock drafts before this one, and Kelsey was always there on the turn. But the way that the draft was going, I saw a lot of running backs were going to be available. So I thought, you know what, take a chance on Kelsey, get a decent running back on the turn. So that's what I did. But you have to play with the draft. You can't just have a set board, because if you do, you're going to miss on players or miss on some. I mean, honestly, I think the biggest reach in the first round wasn't Jackson. I think it was Metcalf. Because, Metcalf was good last year, but I don't know. Russell seems to, I don't know, he doesn't stick to one guy all the time.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that too. I thought Metcalf was an earlier pick. He's the shiny toy in Seattle, where a guy like Lockett is more consistent. But I agree with you. I don't know if he's going to have the same production. So we'll see.
Well, according to Sleeper ADPs, they agree with you. He's not the top. I mean, not number 2. He's actually number 7, wide receiver 7. So he should have gone after, according to their ADP, Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, kind of in that Terry McLaurin, A.J. Brown tier with Justin Jefferson and Keenan Allen and stuff. So I have to agree with you there. That was a reach. And I think that, Doogie, you got one of the best picks in the draft, man. I think you got one of the best picks in the draft there in the 13th round with Jameis Winston. I love that pick, man.
It's a lot of high upside right there.
We'll see.
It's a solid
30.
What's that?
I just want him to do the 30-30 again.
Well, yeah, but
So
I think that everybody in fantasy land, I think, is happy that it wasn't Taysom Hill. From a fantasy standpoint, I think everybody, including Kamara, benefits from a Jameis Winston, who's a throw-first kind of guy, where Taysom Hill is going to kind of tuck and run, or it's more gadget. So I think the Winston piece, I think it works better for everybody in fantasy, and we'll see.
I kind of like his Damien Harris pick, because I think New England's just going to pound the rock. I mean, we're talking a top 5 offensive line. I mean, they're right up there with the Saints and the Cowboys and the Colts. That line is just going to get off, and they're going to protect Mac Jones. They really don't have a lot behind him. White catches the ball. They got that rookie. It's going to take him a while to learn how to, pass block and what have you. I mean, he's a high pick. I believe he's a second round pick, Harris. So they got a lot of stock in him. I mean, I don't think it's out of the question for him to have, 10, 11 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. So I think that was a great pick too, so, well done to that pick.
He doesn't catch. I only worry.
Yeah,
he's not going to hit a bludgeon on you, but they're going to bludgeon you for 5 yards of carry, 18, 20 times a game with that guy. I can say that with a good amount of confidence. So
the problem with the Patriots is their situational football, and that's the thing that troubles me about anybody on that team. Bill Belichick don't care about your fantasy team. I'll tell you that much right now. And you look at it when they had 3 backs, Sony Michel, James White, and Rex Burkhead. They playing on their own, they had good fantasy relevance. But the way that Belichick plays is he was situational. So if he was on another team, I would look at it that way. But, You're not signing me up for no Patriots winning the division. You're not signing me up for them
All right, AC.
coming back on a rebound. I'll tell you right now, it's Bills, baby, all day. So
What do you think, AC? What do you think of Harris?
Damien Harris?
You're the tiebreaker here, buddy.
Yeah, no, I'm a fan of that pick. Although I do think that Bill Belichick's going to be totally game script dependent. Totally go with the hot hand. I think James White is still going to be very much relevant, like you said. And we could see some Ramondre Stevenson this year too. But
Right.
I think Damien
Dude,
Harris
I
is
love
definitely
him
going
to
to
play,
be out there on first down. He's going to get the first crack.
who's your favorite pick of the draft? I mean, like I said, for your team, what was your favorite pick? Start with AC. What was your favorite player?
My favorite player that I took is got to be Darren Waller. I was really happy about that pick because I'm big on not get like at that point, because I passed up on quarterbacks the first two rounds. I had already had it in my head that I was like, I'm gonna wait till like the 5th or 6th round at this point, and I'm just gonna go ahead and hammer like position scarcity. And just Darren Waller is one of those guys. Last year, I think he saw like 156 receptions or something like that. So, that was my favorite pick. That was my favorite pick right there. Because there's not many tight ends. I think he's right up there with Kelsey. And where I got him, I felt really good about it.
I remember when I was asking you if Ruggs was a good rookie card buy. I was like, I'm thinking about Ruggs. What do you think of the passing game? I was like, here's his targets. I showed you the Raider targets, and it was absurd what Waller's was. And you wrote back, like, I forgot the number. I'll just say 135 targets. Wow. In caps. It is. He's a target junkie. He's a monster. And, yeah.
So who was your favorite pick, Troop?
Let me see here.
Well,
honestly, I think it's gonna. This might surprise you. I think it's Jonnu Smith. I have him rated pretty high. I think they're gonna throw the ball a lot to the tight ends, and I just at that point, I mean, honestly, I think he's right up there after Hawkinson. Like, I mean, he's not as good as on that tier, but I'm not gonna be surprised if he gets 10 touchdowns. I mean, I think he's just they're gonna really go after it and get him involved. They paid him a lot of money. I know they played Hunter Henry, but he's been dinged up a little. And Belichick's on record saying, as far as he's aware of, outside Kelsey, he's probably the best rack tight end in football. So he's excited. I think they're going to script him a lot of plays. So I think say Johnny, but I'm really excited about Waddle too. Even though I'm not a big Tua fan, Waddle just off the charts, amazing to watch. I like 40 touchdowns, like something stupid, like 30 touchdowns over 40 yards at Alabama. I mean, it's just ridiculous how how they get the home run.
Yeah.
So, but probably John Smith.
What was your favorite pick, Brian?
Should I be the homer and say Beasley because he gets at least 5-6 catches a game? But no, I really like Cortland Sutton.
Yeah,
because 2 years ago he was a monster when he was healthy. Pure number one numbers. I'm getting rid of 3. I'm happy, but even Beasley, I'm happy with. I targeted him actually. I was going to take him in the 12th or 13th, but I don't know. Being the homer, I felt someone might take a jump first before me, so that's when I took him when I did.
Cool. How about guys a redo like a mulligan? If you were to get a pick back on your team, maybe you would have jumped a little early. I'm kind of curious. How about you, AC? Is there a pick up there that you might want to have back? You thought you could have got a little better value looking back at it?
Yeah, man, that's a tough one. I think if I could have got a pick back, I would go back to where I took Gallup in the 11th round. I was feeling really good about my draft until I took Gallup. I think I definitely have a lot of Cowboys, but I think if I could go back, I would trade Gallup. I would trade Gallup for one of those other guys, Mike Williams, Marquez Callaway, even Michael Pittman Jr. There was a lot of Darnell Mooney. Like I passed up on a lot of Mecole Hardman. Like I feel like I passed up on a lot of good talent that will be potentially more productive this season than Michael Gallup. Now I feel good about it though because it's like a safe pick. Like if Amari Cooper goes down or something, Gallup is going to get more time. So I don't feel terrible about it, but that's the one pick I think I would trade.
How about you over there, Kamish?
Jamar Chase, I think, is a guy that I'm going to also live and die by. As the Canadian clearly said, I took the third best receiver in that spot. But you know what? I look at it this way. I look at the Bengals being a team that its offensive line is going to force them to throw the ball very quickly. They've got a lot of weapons with, Boyd, Chase, and T. Higgins, and they're going to be down in a lot of football games. So that's the reason why I took them. But what I wanted was Allen Robinson, and I figured I was going to grab him on the turn. I should have grabbed Robinson first, and I probably should have got Chase on the backside. I think I jumped the gun on that one. So if I had to redo a pick, I probably would have maybe flipped that.
And you, Doogie, what would you like to have back if any of them were?
I don't mind the player Robinson, but the quarterbacks just ran after I took him, and it kind of stuck me with Ryan, which I don't mind, but I don't know.
Right.
I feel weak at quarterback.
So you felt the pressure, and I see. What did Burrow? Was that before? Let me see. Burrow was before or after you? That season, that round.
Yeah, Burrow was right two picks before.
All right, because that's kind of interesting. Because I think Burrow might have been possibly the tier before him. I mean, I don't know. He's. I still believe in Burrow, but he didn't play that well. But I still think he's maybe the next tier up.
He's gonna have to throw his way out of a lot of games, at least in my opinion. So that was kind of my decision with the Chase pick. So Burrow's gonna have to load it up. I mean, hopefully his picks will be limited, but I think he's definitely going to be. That's the thing that scares me about Joe Mixon. Mixon can catch, so that's the plus for him. But again, abandoning the run because you're down in games because you're getting smashed. So Burrow's gonna, I think, have a lot of yards. So.
Mm-hmm. So if there was one pick, Kamish, that you were like, God, someone sniped a guy from you. I know you mentioned Allen Robinson. That was taken 2 picks before. But would that be like the big snipe? Like if there was one pick that a guy took, right, that you were trying to hopefully have that person fall to you that you missed out on?
Well, it was actually, it's a kind of twofold, but every mock draft that I did, I selected the Washington football team in the 12th round. Every single one. There wasn't one that I didn't grab. And again, for some reason, because I really believe in their defense, they're going to get after it this year. I said, you know what? I'm going to pass, and I'm going to wait, and I'll get them on the back end. And I didn't. And when Greg took the Washington football team, I was livid. I was just like, oh. I didn't want Tampa, no offense, but that was the thing, and that was a tough one. And the Robbie Anderson pick before me too. Rick DeLisi took. That was tough because I'm a big Robbie Anderson guy. So. Yeah,
and he just inked a 2-year extension. So.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have a good year. Him and Darnold.
It's a domino effect, man. So this guy Greg Vetter 22G took Washington football team. So then you took my defense at Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which set me off livid, dude. I was going nuts. I could not believe you took the Bucs defense, or you guys were taking defense. But I know we've got some point bonuses and there's some unique scoring settings for defenses in this league, and we were getting 12th, 13th round. So that was like the snipe for me. That was like, oh man, I couldn't believe they didn't fall to me. And I was right there, right there. 2 picks before.
Were you going to take him in that round?
I would have. Yes, I was going to. Yeah, I was actually going to. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
It's funny because, like I said, I came from Greg's right before this draft, and we're talking about the draft and what have you. And I was like, "You took the Washington at 12." He goes, "Honestly, I did several mock drafts of Jay before." And I like him and all, but I really took that pick to screw him over. It was really just to stick him. And I was like, I do want it, but it was a twofold thing. And I was like, well, you hit a bullseye at it because, he left a real bad text, all caps, that came across my screen when that pick went out. So
yeah. Vegas Mike was at my house at the draft, and I'm not going to say what I said, but I was hot. I was like, oh, I was so mad.
That's something, just to spite him.
Yeah, I won't forget that, Vetter. I won't forget that for sure.
So what about you, Doogie? Which one was the snipe that you were?
Tom Brady. I was going to get him back on the turn. I thought for sure he was going to last. And he goes one pick after I take McLaren. But I had to take a receiver at that point because I didn't really like anyone else on the board at that point. So I had to take McLaren first. But missing out on Brady pissed me off.
Is he ever gonna get old, and is he ever gonna stop playing well? Because I'm starting to think that he's a robot.
I hope not.
Yeah, I bet you don't, Tampa guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if it was CG or if it was real. I think it was real. I mean, it looked like it was one cut. He was throwing the football. It was probably like a 15-yard pass, and he was throwing it back into the machine that throws, like the machine that's got the wheels on it that spits the football.
It was debunked, but it was cool as hell. So yeah. Yeah. He's funny, man, on social media. I mean, again, when he played for the Patriots, I couldn't stand him. And I liked him when he was a Wolverine. So I just couldn't like him as he was kicking the snot out of our team. So now he's funny, and I actually don't mind him. He was on my board too. I got a thing where I don't draft like that kind of guy, but I was going to take him.
He's definitely not a dual threat quarterback, but with the weapons he's got, our offensive line, everything else, he's gonna
smart.
Ball out.
Yeah, he gets it done. I can't even deny that. And there's many conversations me and Troop have had. Me complaining about, he has too, about Brady. So he's rep damage to both of us, mentally and physically.
What about you, Lenny? Which pick had you cursing over there?
Let me take a look here. The draft board. I mean, I'll tell you what. I definitely wanted to come away with Ayuk or T. Higgins. I own 30, 40 Higgins. I'm, over the moon on Higgins. So, him and Ayuk both, being off the board beforehand really, really hurt. It's just you can't have everything, But yeah, I think those are the guys that really where I just had to drop my head, and I feel like I just got the wind knocked out of me. Takes 30 seconds to compose myself, hands over the head, one of those situations like, so both those guys hurt me.
I like the Deontay Johnson pivot though. I like that pick there, Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, I like how they get him involved in the screen game. He's easy to get touches to.
You could have gone Ayuk there too, and you passed up on Ayuk to go for Deontay Johnson.
I know. I was really pressing my luck, and I know the ADP, so I guess I had that coming to me. So yeah, I just pressed my luck. There's guys that press your luck that you think like Gesicki. I cannot get Gesicki, and I think if you put him in KC, he's every bit as good as Kelsey. He's virtually unstoppable. And I always want to get Gesicki, and I never do, and I always take him for granted. I'm not even sure who got him. I wish I could get him in trade, but nobody wants to trade me. So,
they're on to you, Troop. They're on to you. They know you got the team. They know. Word on the street. There's an underground. They're talking about you, saying, "Look, don't trade to this guy. He knows too much." Right?
Yeah, I can't get anything done here.
The psychological warfare is finally caught up.
Is there any guys that do you really go in the draft like you wish you got or that you kind of had targeted you thought you were gonna get? Anyone?
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes at number 5.
That was some psychological warfare. I think that's what I think. That's you got a little dose of that. They tell you to zig when you zagged. So,
hey, so AC, what was your strategy going into the Superflex? I didn't really uncover that. Is it let the board fall? Did you want to get 2 quarterbacks by a certain round, or I know you actually you said you wanted scarcity, so you knew you were coming away, with a top shelf tight end. You weren't going to let that slide if you had the opportunity. But
yeah,
sure,
I had been planning for
Get a
all week to
backup.
go Mahomes at pick 5. But yeah, I let the board fell to me in this situation because the position scarcity of those bell cow running backs. So I'm like, I don't want to get cute. Just if I can double down, like if this pays off, I feel really good about my team. If I can get 20 points or 20, 25 points out of Cook and Elliott on a weekly basis, then I feel really good about my team.
Yeah. Is this your first Superflex?
It is, man.
Yeah, it definitely changes it up because people treat quarterbacks the most important position like kickers in almost all leagues. I think that honestly, this is the future. We're gonna look back on this now and be like, remember we used to play 1 quarterback leagues, kind of like standard leagues,
Speaking of kickers, this guy Warrior 12 here at the back of the draft picked 3 kickers in the draft.
Yeah, he guess he wanted to corner the market on that.
He definitely did.
That definitely caught
first,
me off too.
Bass way too early. I mean, I like Bass, mind you, but not that high. And then I don't know. I think he just auto drafted like at the end, and it just took 2 kickers for him. There's no way he did that on purpose.
I'll tell you what. At the end of the draft, I was looking who's a viable kicker. I literally had 1 kicker that's actually playable. I was nervous as heck, and I was thinking about that guy. So it was a tight squeeze at the end of the draft to get that kicker in.
I didn't even pick one. I actually picked up Denver's kicker off of waivers, but it's slim pickings out there for kickers.
I know, right?
Yeah, I've never seen in a draft 3 kickers go off the board. Never. Kickers need love, I guess, but that's a lot of love. That's a lot. So,
Does
side
he
note,
still have all those kickers on his roster? Or is
yeah.
he dropping them?
No, he's not dropping them. Maybe he's gonna put him on the trade block.
I don't know. He like I say, he's from Canada. I don't know if he get more. If you're watching Canadian football, maybe you get more points. I'm not familiar with the game, so I'm kind of ignorant. I don't think maybe he confused his scoring system or something. The Canadian league, but usually
can you play kickers in the Superflex spot?
No.
Sure.
Oh,
no. That's right. No, you can't.
No, you can't. That's the ones you can take everything else except the kickers. And
I was thinking maybe that's why he did it, but maybe stream 2 kickers a week. But
I mean, for the bye weeks, he's got the market cornered, I think. So I don't think they're all in the same bye week. So, how do you guys feel about Dak Prescott? Do you think he's injured? Do you think it's a smokescreen? I have to ask the question because
it's like $1 million question right there.
It really is, and I really think that Dallas is smokescreen and. They really want to sell those tickets, and I mean, if he's healthy, man, sky's the limit. But I don't know. I don't think he is. That's my opinion. But I was just wondering what your opinion.
They just lost an offensive lineman to injury for first week, and that's not going to help them any.
They did what?
Who was it? Mark. They lost an
offensive.
offensive.
Talking about Zach Wilson, or Zach Martin. Yeah, Zach Wilson. Zach Martin.
We want Zach Wilson on the line, but. My Tampa Bay defense is pretty happy about that. I'm not going to lie. So that he's injured. So get back at Dak.
Oh, we're going to be all over him. We dial up the blitz.
Gotta be good.
I just bought a rookie card, so I hope he's healthy. I'm nervous as heck. Cost me a good buck for that. So
Lenny, put that thing up for sale, man.
Yeah, right. Now it's a sell. I think on him.
Yeah, like I said, week 1's the most money time to sell, right? That.
Well, yeah, but the thing with a guy like Dak Prescott, he hasn't seen a big increase in his rookie card values because he's been hurt, and there's this big question mark around him. So a lot of people are waiting to see him play. I think if he has a big game next Thursday night, you're going to see his rookie cards jump big time.
Okay, yeah, but
you roll the dice. I mean, he could go down first game because he's not 100%.
Yeah, that's like it's a Garoppolo situation. Garoppolo, my brother-in-law invested a lot of money in Garoppolo on cards, and now he's like, I'm taking a hit, especially now with what's going on in San Fran. So
I went in on Garoppolo last year, preseason, before the season on Garoppolo, and I had to break even. I had to break even on it. I mean, Garoppolo just it looked good on paper because it was like game manager. You know, he's in the Kyle Shanahan offense. They've got that incredible defense, but then Nick Bosa went down, and it was just one thing after another. I think even Garoppolo got hurt himself like week 1 last year, and he got Kittle hurt too with that bad pass.
How do you guys feel about Garoppolo staying with the team? You think he's going to get moved when another quarterback gets injured, or they're just going to keep that two-back system and run Trey Lance as a gadget?
He's sealed. I mean, at this point, if you're looking to win a championship, I don't know how anyone's going to want to best of him. I think at this point, his ship is sailed. He's going to be a journeyman. I can't see someone investing in weapons and, you know, going all in on him, me personally. But I think he's going to have a productive career, but he's definitely heading down the journeyman territory as far as I'm concerned.
So how long before we see Trey Lance in action?
Say week 3.
Week 3?
I would say 4.
Yeah.
I'm more on Brian 4, quarter way through.
Yeah.
So where did Trey Lance go in this draft? Because that's kind of my thought process when I took Fields. So Lance went at the end of 8th. I took Fields at the middle of 8th. I'm kind of thinking the same thing with Justin Fields in Chicago. I mean, we've already seen the fans booing Andy Dalton coming down the field. So it's like,
I don't understand why Andy Dalton. Again, he must have like naked pictures of the coach or something, because for him to kind of be in there, I have no idea, man. He's got something. The Red Rockets got something over of that team, because I mean, honestly, go with Fields. He's your guy, and Dalton's a heck of a backup. I mean, again, you know, I talked about that in my podcast. It's like these guys, once you know the Daltons of the world, and even Garoppolo, they're going to make great backups. Look at Trubisky; he's going to have a great career with us. If at least, you know, I feel good knowing that if Allen, God forbid, goes down, you know, we got somebody that can come in and show flashes of brilliance for a game or two. So.
AC, put us on your calendar for a podcast. That Bills Buccaneers game that week.
Oh yeah, man.
We'll talk about the matchups, individual matchups, and everything. We break that game down.
Okay. Yeah, you got, and we should do an instant reaction. You guys should come on here with me right after the game. And I mean, one of us are going to be not so happy.
Yeah, one of us be bouncing off the wall. Right. That's going to be crazy. Maybe it'll be a Super Bowl match. Maybe it won't. We'll see.
Our expectations for the Bills this year, I mean, obviously we're high from last year, but I mean, we, you know, being up here, the whole town is, and everybody is just Bills Mafia going strong. And man, when we lose, and I guess every city, but we're just in such a mood. And, you know, because our expectations are so high this year. I mean, we want the whole thing. We don't want championship or just get to the Super Bowl. We want to win the whole thing. So, sorry, Tom, we're coming for you.
I heard today on one of the media members that Josh said if they win the Super Bowl, he's going through a table. He hasn't been through a table yet, but he's planning on going through a table.
I heard that.
They're probably like during a parade. I wish we wouldn't count our chickens, but I like the optimistic thinking, I guess. But at the same time, I think that'd be hilarious.
Oh, it would be. Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. So from division standpoint, what do you guys think? Who's going to win each division? Do you guys have a prediction by chance, based on the teams? I mean, obviously, you know.
I mean, people are going to hate me for saying, but I think I'm always the person to beat. I mean, so I'm not afraid to say I know you're not supposed to be that guy, but I shouldn't jinx it. But I don't know. I think it's coming down to coin flips. Their teams are really, really close. So it really is hard to say if you would put the Vegas odds up. But I'm planning on winning. You know, I might not, but in my mind, I should win. But you guys
we're in trouble.
Say that again, Doogie.
Our reigning champ, if he gets Michael Thomas healthy, that team is scary at receiver. Just scary.
That's a good value pick if he stays healthy. Absolutely. So, I don't know. Hope it doesn't linger for him.
You know what? Looking back at that now, AC, you asked that question before, a guy you wish you could have took. And I was well aware of this. And my son, he's doing the dirty work writing down the draft and who everyone's taken, so I kind of keep an eye on runs and stuff. He kept telling, you better take Gus Edwards. You better take Gus Edwards. And I had my division guys circled. Like, I'm real aware of like their handcuffs, so I can kind of get a 2-for-1 on them as far as benefiting and kind of hurting them. And I let the champ get Gus Edwards. And after the draft, I was a little upset about that. I kept thinking back, gosh, got JT Dobbins. I could have really hooked him there. He's great value at the same time. I think I took Carter somewhere around there maybe. And I overdrafted Carter. He's not a starter yet, of course. So, yeah.
You took Carter in the 8th, man. Gus went in the 13th.
Okay, yeah. So I have no excuses. Like I said, I kept taking it for granted.
This was before the Dobbins injury, though.
Yeah, I know, but still, you want to knock that guy. I like to knock my division legs out from underneath them if it's a pivotal handcuff. And he's reaping the benefits now. He's got that, so that would have hurt him hard.
I know. I reached for Pollard for that same reason. I love Tony Pollard. I think he's a baller, but I wanted to get that handcuff, and I was like, I had a feeling I might get sniped. I saw, so some running. There was quite a few running backs taken right before I took them, so I wanted to ensure I got that. But somebody else got Alexander Madison. I think Madison went here. Yeah, Vegas got him in 16. I was going to get him in the last round, and I missed him.
I think he was waived. I don't know if anybody picked him back up, but he was waived.
Yeah, I'm about to get on that.
What I'm saying, right? You better take note, see if he's there. So, yeah.
I didn't look at the division. Now, I do know you and I are playing each other here week 1, Commish,
yes,
and
sir.
You've got a slight advantage.
Yeah, I'm probably going to switch my lineup prior to a little bit. Like I said, I'm thinking of taking like I said, I got the New Orleans receiver in the lineup right now. I don't know if he's going to do there. I'm going to take my Jamar Chase and put him in there. I got to take a look at the matchup. So the Sunday morning, you'll see who I'm putting in there. So don't take that at its word.
Do you release that on the podcast?
Release what?
Like, do you talk about your lineup and stuff on the pod? Like, do you do a Sunday morning podcast, or you just?
I can do that. Like I said, I usually do. I did like a preview. I was going to do a breakdown, so I'm going to try to be more religious with it and try to do previews and then a post for both. So I'll try to hit them both and see if time permits. So.
Where can people find your podcast? Because I've been listening to it every time you drop a new one. I think they're awesome, man. They're like 30-minute episodes. I think you cover some really cool topics. The art of the trade. Breaking down week 1 matchups. Where can people find that podcast?
It's actually on Anchor Podcast and also on Spotify. It's the Big Guns Fantasy Podcast. And like I said, I try to do them, again, religiously and get into it more. I enjoy doing them. So definitely, I can throw it up in a link or maybe you could see it. So, but yeah, I definitely enjoy doing it. And yeah, like I said, it's a fun thing to do. And like I said, hopefully people find some value and get some good information out of it. So.
Yeah, man. Sure. So what's your prediction for league winner, or not league winner, division winner?
So for Barbell North, I like two teams that maybe not the New Jersey football team by Rick DeLisi. I like that team, and I actually like Jeremy's team, the Diablo del Sol, are two teams that I think, and I think it'll come down to game management. I like those teams. I actually think New Jersey football team, if they manage throughout the regular season, I think that they could take that division. Team Dom, I don't know enough about him. He has a pretty good team as well, but I think the Jersey football team could pull it out this year. And then, like I said, in the Duffs division, it's a tough division. Like I said, Troop, myself, Greg, yourself, Dugan's in there, so, and the champ. So But this year, I think that the champ and Greg, who normally bring better teams, I don't think their teams were as good. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, I really think that I have a good chance this year of taking it. And it all depends on my Kyler Murray pick. So we'll see. So I like my backups. I said like Jonathan Taylor and Gibson, I think are a great 1-2 combo. And again, so we'll see.
Yeah, I like that Terrace Marshall pick that you got sitting there on your bench too.
Yeah, I picked him up in actually a waiver pickup, and I wanted to. It was between him and Hunter Renfrow, and I waived Hunter Renfrow because I think that they're going to have a good team. So since I couldn't get Robbie Anderson, I might as well take the second best. So
Nice. Well, what about you, Doogie? I don't think I've heard your prediction yet for division winner.
Our division, I think it's just whoever doesn't get injured. Because, I mean, everyone's got a solid team, but I'm still going with the champ because I look at this team. His receivers scare me, the top two. If Michael, like I said before, if Michael Thomas even comes back on the field and does what he can do, lights out with his top three receivers. I think running backs, you can usually find a guy, and I think he's got some good guys that you don't like sleeping on, like Gaskin. When he was with Miami last year, he caught a lot of balls hiddenly. So I think he's a solid number 2, but he could step up if needed. So that's why I think that he's scary. The other division, I really like, who is it? Can you go up a little bit?
Yeah. There we go. Barbell.
Vegas. Vegas's team, I think, is quietly good. Good receivers. He's got 2 good ones in DeAndre, and I think Kamara. I mean, he's MVP to me. So, I mean, that can be scary. Tommyan, if he can catch a touchdown every week like he was late last year, he's good. Carson's got a leg on him. He can hit 50-yard field goals like nothing. I don't know if Vegas plays in a dome or not. That would help if they did, but I don't think it's a dome. But no, I like that team too. His quarterbacks are a little bit questionable, but who knows?
I think the new Vegas stadium is one of those like Dallas where they can open the top up a little bit.
I think it's massive. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I guess they have like a nightclub in there and what have you, from what I'm hearing, and it's pretty gangster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see with all the rookies that are starting this year. Again, there's going to be winners and losers for sure, and that's going to directly have an impulse. Like I said, you took 3 rookies. I mean, basically, I called Tua a rookie because he didn't really play a full year. But high upside in your team, again, I do not like Trevor Lawrence at all. I absolutely cannot stand that guy. I don't know if it's that long hair. I don't know what it is. I just cannot stand him. And Tua, I'm a Bills guy, so hey. I mean, but Justin Fields, I think, has got the highest ceiling, even though everybody says Trevor. But, again, you just need one to hit. So, again, some rookies are
He was driving me nuts at his pro day, because not wearing a helmet, and he kept having to do that with his hair, like put it back, like almost like he was doing it like he was some kind of, cover girl model. Yeah.
He was at the college game doing that. His girlfriend was on a cell phone, and he was playing with his hair. I'm like, come on, bro.
Oh my god!
I
So
think
that
we're
kind
all
of stuff does like drive me nuts. Like you're not a pretty boy. You're supposed to be, the number 1 draft pick in the NFL. Come on, man.
He won't have time when he's laying on his back, in my opinion. But we'll see.
Oh.
Did you guys hear what Tony Romo said of Zach Wilson? How'd you feel about that?
With what?
He said he's all in on Zach Wilson. He said Zach Wilson's the top 3 to 5 quarterback in the NFL this year.
Yeah, they said he could be like Mahomes. So he went on record of that. So he's put his rep out on there. We'll see how it turns out. But I thought, boy, he has yet to play the money pocket.
That's a tough take. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think, I don't think he's got that kind of. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna be. I think let's put it this way. I think the Jets are going to be better. How can you not be better as bad as they were? But again, he's little, and I don't know. We'll see. Again, Corey Davis and Elijah Moore have to hit. The run game's got to get going. And I don't know enough about their offensive line, but I think he's going to be running for his life.
This is my thing. Like, he went to Brigham Young. What kind of defenses did he play against in college? You know,
Right.
I've heard people like, the draft people, and I think Cynthia Freeland ran the stats on it. Like, when she gets all metriced up and what have you, for his division, he had like the biggest gaps, the most time out of like every every NCAA quarterback. In fact, there was only 2 quarters of one game that scouts can find a muddy pocket on him where people were within a yard of him, several times during the quarter, that they could see how we could react under pressure. So he's basically out there playing flag football, So I think
he's going to find out about a muddy pocket really soon. So, yeah, like you said,
New England. Week 2, Denver 3, Tennessee 4, Atlanta. He's got bye week 6, but then back in New England, Cincinnati at Indianapolis has got a pretty ferocious front 7. Then Buffalo at home, Miami. So yeah, it's not a crazy schedule. Oh, they got Tampa Bay in week 17, then Buffalo again.
There you go. So yeah, he's going to have a muddy pocket. Let's put it that way. So he's going to have to learn to throw quickly. We'll see. So I don't know. Everybody's got a hot take. So I mean, that's the thing too. Before we play 1 week, everybody's I've heard people say that the Patriots are going to take this division again, and I just don't see it. Not just because I'm a Bills guy, because I just don't think so. But
I think so.
Huh?
I think so.
You think the Patriots are going to stop the
run? I'm saying it's more of a coin toss that we want to see.
Wait,
Fred Taylor, we cannot stop him. We cannot stop Cam Newton. It took a fumble. Cam Newton had a fumble for us to win that game. They ran all over us. Tennessee ran all over us. We say we got Star Lute back. That's the big difference. We have a finesse middle linebacker who can't take on blocks. I mean, so if Star doesn't do his job, or Phillips, it don't matter if we can't score. We can't get the ball. I mean,
I just want to make sure that I'm hearing this correctly. You're saying that you think the Patriots are going to take our division?
I think they can run on us, and that's the problem. It's not going to be a landslide as we think. And their defense is more
landslide. Right, but I think
their defense. It's on record, like it could be the best ever. Like they're getting their Alabama linebacker back. What's his name? Highland or Doogie? Help me out this one.
I hope you're wrong. That's all I got to say. But
they got They are ridiculous this year, and that pick pissed me off. By the way, AC with the Patriots. Was it this one, or maybe it was the last one?
It was the other one. I doubled down on the defense, man. My guy David Hunter knows the Patriots inside and out, and he said, "Man, the Pats defense is looking like the 2019 Pats defense again this year. Get them late.
Their best defense ever." I was. What do they say? I was madder than fish grease. Like. I had to get up and walk away, and I was like talking to myself. I didn't want to swear in front of my kid, because it was, I was kind of like watching him draft too. But yeah, that was a good pick. They're a sleeper defense. I just, like I said, I don't think we're gonna boat race everybody. It's gonna be an uglier game than we think. So I still got the Bills because we got Neo back there, the Matrix, Mandalorian, whatever I want to call him, quarterback. But it's gonna be close.
That gives me heartburn, Lenny. I'm not gonna lie, dude. You're just pulling out my heart right there with that.
What do you think, Dugan? I mean, do you think we're gonna boat race them too? You know.
I think the Bills should 11 to 12 this year. New England maybe 9 or 10. They'll probably split with New England this year. I could see New England taking one game, but not both.
Right.
But their defense can be scary, like you said.
What about their run game?
Gilmore's out the first game. Well, I took the running back, so I have some faith in it.
Yeah, right. But no. Sorry, Charlie. You lose.
I don't trust Mac Jones.
Not happening. Go Bills. Listen, we got 1 year of the division. You're already trying to give it back to the Patriots.
I'm just being practical.
Listen, mac and cheese ain't gonna get it done. Okay, he might have been better than Cam Newton. but he's cold mac and cheese. It ain't happening. Not gonna happen.
That's Tom Brady 2.0, commish.
Oh, that's another hard thing to listen to.
Oh boy, I like to hear that. That hurts to hear that.
That's a tough thing to listen to. I mean, listen, Mac Jones looked the part of a guy who could fill the role of what Tom Brady did because he's got the kind of same skill set per se. Not as good. Don't mix that up. But I'm saying Cam Newton was not what Tom Brady played, and the offense was built around Tom Brady. So Mac Jones feels that a lot easier, and I think it's easier for Belichick to manage that. But listen, it's not preseason. It's not training camp. This is the real deal. Come Sunday, it's going to get ugly. I'm telling you right now. And he's going to learn real quick. Some of these rookie quarterbacks are going to find out all this hype and all this stuff is going to just blow up in their face. And I don't think all the people that come for the Patriots, I think they'll be better than they were last year. But we're taking that division. And it's not because I'm a Bills fan. It's because we've got the stuff. I really do think so. So
in case the audience is not aware, we're all from Buffalo, you know. So we're all on the Bills Mafia here. So that's why we're hyped. This is all about Buffalo we're talking about right now.
Oh, I think Buffalo takes that division.
We definitely started talking about our team. So
yeah, I think Buffalo takes that division. I'm with you. I'm seeing a Buffalo Tampa Bay Super Bowl this year.
See, I'll say Buffalo, Green Bay. That's what I say. Because I really do. I kind of agree. Not that I want to let Lenny know this, but I agree, man. Rodgers and Adams and Jones and company are going to go off. They got something to prove this year, and I really think they're going to get after it. And, yeah, they're going to go out on top. So that's my take.
How about you, Duke? Where's your Super Bowl prediction?
I don't really know. This one's a tough one this year. I don't like Green Bay because of their defense. So, no.
Fair point.
Duke, putting you on record here.
Yeah.
We're going to wind this back so you can look pretty good here if you make this call.
Pittsburgh.
What?
In Minnesota.
Listen, you have to do some drug testing after this because what are you talking about, son? Oh, no. Say it ain't so. Listen, I can't get behind any team that has their helmet has a symbol only on one side. I can't get behind a team that has a symbol on only one side. I forgot to put it on the other side. Come on now. Big
I could have said
Ben.
the Browns have no symbol whatsoever.
Oh, well, I'll take the Browns over the Steelers. I mean, no.
I'll tell you what, the Rams are going to be no joke too. The Rams with Stafford, they're going to be a tough handle for teams, a tough out.
That change of venue for Stafford is going to mean a world of good. Jared Goff right now is crying in his soup because he's in Detroit, and that's where players go to die. So, I mean, yeah, I think Matt Stafford, that change of venue, just like Sam Bradford, I think the change of venue is going to do him a world of good. So we'll see.
Sam Bradford, what?
Not Sam Bradford. Oh my gosh. Sam Darnold.
They makes me feel good since I stuff Jonathan Taylor earlier.
Yeah, he said Fred Taylor, so I had to get one in too. Listen, we've been playing for a long time, so I can pull out some old guys. So sorry about that.
I remember when I was young, I was fighting with my father to keep either Ricky Prohl or Michael Haynes. Because I was like co-owner with him, and God, we had this big fight right at the draft. And
Michael Haynes, I remember him in Atlanta.
Those are a red gun offense, man. I'll tell you right now, it was Pritchard, Andre Rison. You had Jeff George. Was there one that maybe Rozier possibly, but I don't know if I want to be quoted completely. I think it could have been possibly Rozier. I think it was a third-round pick in fantasy. So. Hey, AC, we go back like our earlier drafts. I forgot to mention, like when we were teenagers, we would actually put together a tent with a podium, with speakers, where you get the card walked up and they announce the picks. And hopefully we can maybe possibly do something crazy like that maybe in one of the upcoming drafts. Me, Jay, and Mike have been kicking around that idea. So I have to get you up here in Buffalo, man. We can set you up pretty nice too. So.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. I imagine that it's a little bit cooler up there this time of year than it is down here.
I don't know. This past August was pretty rough. So
right now it's pretty money, though. But right now we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
High 60s.
Gotta get some wings, man. Some buffalo wings. We love
Oh
them.
man,
No
sounds good.
ranch. No ranch. Don't be coming up with that
Okay.
ranch. I don't know.
Just
Ranch.
or
I do blue cheese. I'm
All
not a
right, good
ranch
man.
guy.
Yeah, because I can't. I'd have to leave. So, yeah, you can't bring that ranch up here. So, eating your wings with a fork or something. Come on now. Don't be doing
You'll
that.
get in trouble. You got for ranch. You get in some serious trouble up here, man. They'll walk you out of the restaurant. I mean,
They
that's.
will. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
we don't have any more wings for you. Nope.
Really?
Oh yeah, we don't do no ranch.
Yeah, they know you're an outsider. You know.
That's right. We don't do boneless. No boneless. Okay, we don't play that boneless game. Here. The wings and flats world we live in. Just saying. So, either way,
I'm with you guys there. I can resonate with that for sure.
good
For
stuff.
sure.
Good stuff.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming on the channel. Yeah, I want to make sure anybody wants to follow along in the action. I'll be sharing, action in this league because a lot of what we're doing in fantasy, I parlay over into football cards, rookie cards, because of the growing sports card market. There's a lot of potential. These cards hold real, tangible, physical, monetary value, and they go up and down based on players' performances in the league and based on their team scenario, their social media popularity. So I use my fantasy knowledge to make smarter investments and kind of use the whole like analytical Bayesian process to take that to football cards. And there's just a ton more nuances. But I'll be sharing action from this league throughout the season. So yeah, but you've got the podcast, and I want to make sure that everybody goes over and checks out the Big Guns Fantasy Podcast on Anchor and subscribe to Jason over there and follow along the action there. And I appreciate you guys coming on tonight.
Hey, thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll catch up again.
Yeah, we definitely got to do this again. This was fun.
All right, yeah, let's do it again, man. I'm down.
All right.
Take
care,
guys.
See you guys later.
Peace.
Good.